Hi guys, my name is Tameem. I'm a solutions engineer here at RapDev. I've been here for about 3 years. Prior to joining RapDev, I ran production engineering at Wayfair. Today I'm going to walk you through, or hopefully explain to you, DevOps in a nutshell. And we've all heard the term DevOps. I'm sure you've heard 1,000 different explanations. So I'll make it 1,001 and tell you what I think DevOps is as a practice. Generally, there's two components to the term DevOps. There's the way we work, and there is the technology behind the way we work. The way we work generally says that as we adopt true DevOps methodologies, developers are responsible for running their code in production. At the core of it, that doesn't really happen at most organizations. It's a very hard thing to achieve. Historically, we've done design, build, run. Once something is built, the run team runs it. To adopt true DevOps methodologies, the developers are responsible for their code, which also means they're responsible for making sure the code runs well, the code is efficient, and the code operates within boundaries that are set by the team. Google also references these as the 4 golden signals. You can read that in the Google SRE handbook. Historically, developers used to work in larger teams, working on projects for months at a time or even years at a time, and then having a large go live at the end of the release. What that does is when you do release to production, you've got millions of lines of code that need to be that need to operate well. And now you've also got a problem trying to figure out exactly where the problem is or where bugs are in production because you've released millions of lines of code. The method of operating within the DevOps world kind of shifts that on its head. And the theory is if we deploy more frequently in smaller increments, it's a lot more easier to resolve the problem. That introduces a change in the way we do change management, and the industry has historically called this ITIL, still calls it ITIL. But how does ITIL or change management get adopted in a modern workflow or in a true DevOps workflow? We used to believe that less changes in production were the safer way to run an application, and in theory that's correct. But that also hinders your ability to deploy code, to make improvements, to release functionality to your end users and your customers. So the way that's been transitioning over time is that we release more frequently and we release smaller increments of code. So if there is an impact to your production application or if customers are seeing any problems, it's very easy to roll back. This introduces the technical side of DevOps methodologies, which is how do we achieve these faster incremental deploys and making sure that we can roll them back efficiently. This is where people generally start to get into the DevOps world or start looking into DevOps methodologies, and that gets into your pipelines, your CI/CD pipelines, your automated testing, your automated deploys. But the most important component, in my experience and perspective, is the actual mechanism in which you deploy code, which you can get into blue-green deploys, you can get into canary deploys, you can get into feature toggles. But there are a lot of different ways and methods in the way you can deploy code to production that are extremely safe. And that's where you need to lean on your engineering to make sure you have the guardrails in place to be able to roll back code instead of leaning on process and adding more hurdles, which are only going to slow your ability to deploy, not improve your ability to roll back. So in a nutshell, that's my theory on DevOps and what I think DevOps really means. Obviously, it's always evolving. The industry's changing. There's a lot of stuff out there. If you want to chat or learn some more, there's a ton of good content on our website, or you can just shoot me an email. Thanks for watching.